What is going on, folks? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your stimulus check update and stimulus package update. I'll be giving out several Amazon gift cards. And best of all, to enter my giveaway, it is free. And all that you have to do is subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notifications, give this video a like, and share this video with your family and friends.
Fake targeting is not going to get relief to people on top of not being what we campaigned on. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing on the minimum wage, I mean, I represent the city that was the first major city in the country to pass the minimum wage, $15 minimum wage. I was on the committee that helped draft that proposal when we passed it back in 2014, and that's Seattle, of course. And so this has been, you know, such a big priority for progressives for a decade, led by fast food workers across this country. And just over the weekend, we were starting to hear all the reasons why we shouldn't put $15 into the bill. And frankly, we had to push back very, very hard. We were able to work with leadership, with the chairman of the Education and Labor Committee. And yesterday, there was no $15 bill in the Education and Labor markup. And today, Rachel, there is. What does that mean? $330 billion in wages will flow to workers over the next 10 years. 27 million workers will get a raise, and 1 million workers will be lifted out of poverty. This is a core, important issue and structural reform that will also persist past COVID. So it is one of the most important things we can do. And I've just got a smile from ear to ear, but I want to make sure that people understand we've got to get it across the finish line. It's got to stay in the bill. The thresholds have to stay in the bill all the way through the House.
The House Democrats dismissed efforts to scale back eligibility for the $1,400 stimulus checks in Joe Biden's stimulus plan. The House Democrats actually just released a draft of stimulus legislation on Monday evening, and the Democrats in the House are racing to put the Biden plan for a floor vote by the end of the month. Now what this means, folks, is that if you received a first and second stimulus check, then you most likely receive a third stimulus check of $1,400. Our politicians like Joe Manchin and Mitt Romney are trying to target the stimulus checks as much as possible. They want those that are making $50,000 a year to not receive a stimulus check. Yes, folks, if you're making $50,000 a year, Senator Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin, just to name a few, do not want you to receive a third stimulus check of $1,400. They're calling for targeted stimulus payments, and House Democrats like Speaker Pelosi and Bernie Sanders believe that everybody that received the first and second stimulus payments should therefore get a third one. Everybody, I want to know what you think in the comments down below. Should every American in the United States get a third stimulus check of $1,400? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no.
Old stimulus package that raises the wage and gets checks out to people, puts money in people's pockets, deals with all of the issues that small businesses and families are facing. That is the unifying proposal. And Republicans, if they don't want to go along with it, that's up to them. But we now control, Democrats now control the House, the Senate, and the White House. And I grant you that it's a thin majority in both chambers. But the reality, Rachel, is we've got to do what we promised. We've got to get these $2,000 checks, $1,400 in addition to the $600, out to people. We should not be cutting thresholds to $50,000 and $100,000. That makes no political sense. You outlined that, but it also makes no policy sense because we are looking at 2019 numbers to determine this eligibility. Everybody understands that tens of millions of people lost their jobs or had reduced income in 2020.
The proposed bill includes several measures, such as gradually increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025, as well as raising the child tax credit. House Democrats are also echoing President Biden's call to send $1,400 stimulus checks to individual Americans. CBS News reporter Sarah Ewald-Weiss has been covering this story, and she joins me now from New York City. Hi there, Sarah. So the current minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. What's the plan for getting it up to $15 by 2025, and how is this expected to help the overall economy?
So this is one of the more controversial provisions of President Biden's COVID relief package, and it is currently included in the House Democrats' version of the legislation that was unveiled.
Now, a group of Senate Republicans also supported restricting the check income thresholds, and that's a move possibly excluding at least 29 million families who qualify for a check under the Biden plan. Senator Ron Wyden said in a statement that he would press for 6 months of enhanced unemployment insurance after the House Democratic plan cut 1 month of jobless benefits. Relief checks, Ron Wyden said, and I quote, "Relief checks and jobless benefits are the most tangible parts of the economic relief package for those struggling to make ends meet. Democrats are setting up a swift timetable to pass stimulus relief using the reconciliation process, everybody. And by the way, that's a maneuver allowing a bill to clear the Senate with only 51 votes instead of the typically 60 votes required. Now you guys have to know that the Democratic-led committees will begin making up legislation for the Biden plan in the next 2 weeks, aiming for a floor vote sometime in the week of February 22nd. And then the bill will go to the Senate for passage and eventually Biden's desk for his signature. Other parts of the legislation that were introduced Monday included $15 minimum wage, emergency funding for schools and universities, and other pandemic-related benefits. In addition, folks, work incentive employment support has helped disabled and blind SSI recipients go to work by minimizing the risk of losing their SSI or Medicaid benefits. And some incentives allow the SSA to not count some of your income or resources. You may be entitled to take advantage of more than one work incentive program. That's depending on the type of income you receive.
$15 an hour. The Congressional Budget Office said this week that this would boost 900,000 people out of poverty. However, at the same time, they said the increased labor costs could lead to 1.4 million job losses. And so there's a trade-off there. Of course, I've spoken to multiple economists who have pointed out that there has been increases in the minimum wage in different states and counties, and they haven't seen the job losses because of those increases that the CBO report suggests.
Good afternoon to everyone. I want to thank Secretary Austin for welcoming the Vice President and me to the Pentagon today. It's good to be back. Before I begin, I have some welcome news that the Saudi government has released a prominent human rights activist, Lojane Lowell, L-O-O-L, from prison. She was a powerful advocate for women's rights, and releasing her was the right thing to do. It's been a busy day.
That's all the news in today's video, folks. I hope you found this video useful and helpful. And if you did, it will really mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe to my channel and click the bell. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate all of your amazing support. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe.